Hello, hello, hello. My name is InfinityGene and welcome to Croc's Adventure, although it's also known as Croc 2 in the West. But yes, welcome one and all. I'm going to be showcasing any percent today for you delightful people in the chat, which I can see in the top screen. We're going to get started in the run in a moment. We just need to get through the file select screen. We're just going to put a random set of characters, why not? And time is going to start the moment I press circle, which is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So, Croc 2, eh? I mean, a lot of people know Croc 2 for being this wonderful sequel that no one wanted, basically. But in actual fact, a lot of people hated Croc 2 because of how different and how frustrating the game is, basically. But from a speedrun perspective, it's actually so enjoyable, it's probably better than playing Croc 1, as I'm going to explain why as we go through the run. So the main difference with this game is the objectives that you need to do on every level. So on Croc 1, you normally would have to do basically just getting to the end of the level and that's it. But on these levels, you have to do objectives. So for example, we have to save the gobbo in the cage. By doing so, we need to, well, to do so, we need to go get the key from up here. Now, we're essentially skipping the whole level with this little trick here, which I'll explain in a moment. Just going to grab the good-looking cheese-covered key, because it looks like a cheese key on the 3D model. Get rid of this Dantini, because he's going to hit me. And then save the gobbo, and then leg it. So, yeah, as I said, the objectives are basically get into the level, do the mission, or the quest, or whatever, and then just get out. So what we did there is we were just exploiting one of the somersault tricks that Croc can do in Croc 2. Basically, if you press L1 and R1, he can do a bit of a roll, like so. And basically what we can do is when we're doing a jump into the corner, basically we hold down L1 and R1 and it glitches the animation a little bit because it's trying to do the somersault. But of course the game can't do that because it's jammed in the corner basically. So what we're able to do is just wait until the animation resets and then we're able to just do another jump input to jump to the ledge. Simple as that. The other thing that you also saw as well is a butt bounce, and we can do butt bounces in the game, which give us pretty much extraordinary height in the game, so we can get to higher ledges as a result. What we're going to try and do here is some one-frame jumps, like so. Nice. We only need to do like one jump there. I'm going to speak to that gobbo ever so briefly, launch him up into the sky, and then give him a lift to push this treasure chest down, which is the next objective on this one, which is to find 5 lost treasure chests. So yeah, as I said, just going back to the differences with Croc 1 and Croc 2, the biggest difference is the movement. The movement on this game is absolutely beautiful if you use the analog stick. If you use the D-pad, ooh, you're in a bit of bother really, because the D-pad is horrendous. It's probably worse than playing Croc 1. But obviously not many people knew about this because you'd think, oh no, the controls are going to be the same, and a lot of people only had D-pad controls back then, until the analog controllers came out. But if you play analog, it feels like a modern sort of gameplay experience pretty much for this, as opposed to what the Croc 1 remaster gave us, which was not so good. So we're going to intentionally die here after getting that chest, and that warps us back to the beginning here. We're going to take the middle conveyor pulley, well, minecart, there we go, I forgot what it's called now. We're going to take the middle minecart and just follow this route all the way to the end to go get the next treasure chest. So once we get all 5 treasure chests, we can leave the level any way we like, whether it's running out of HP or if it's just leaving the level. And that's one of the benefits that we can do in this run, where once we clear the objective, once the flag has been marked as completed on the game, we can just leave the level, and then the game is just perfectly fine afterwards. So, gotta try and get past this stomper, never mind, just have to wait a second, and then intentionally fall down. One thing I'm also doing as well, which you might be wondering, why is Croc moving in such an awkward way? We're doing diagonal movement for the entire run. I'm going the wrong way. Diagonal movement allows us just to go a little bit faster. So that might be why it looks like Croc's a bit sort of askew when he's walking around. It's only slightly faster, but obviously it's a speed run. You want to go a little bit faster. Funny enough, it's the same tactic we use in Croc 1. Croc 1 has a similar movement strat where we do diagonal movement. Oops. Right, so I'm going to intentionally die there, because if I tried to do any one-frame jumps there, that would have been it. So the other thing I need to mention now is the health mechanic, which I had to be a little bit cautious about just then. So, as you can see, we start off the game with 5 HP. If we run out of HP, or if we hit 0 and then we take another hit, we basically game over. And that means we have to do the entire level again. So I'm just going to be a little bit safe here now. Normally this section's fine, so I'm just going to take it a little bit safe because I don't have any extra hearts. But ideally we didn't want to take any extra hearts earlier because we wanted to just quickly walk to the end of the level after we've done the objective. So, but this next section's should be safe enough to do. So we've got 4 out of 5 treasure chests. I'm going to get the last one, which is in a similar area to what we were in earlier, just with these sort of elevators. I'm just going to jump over there. There we go. Whoa. Just playing it a little bit safe. Just a little bit safe. I said a little bit safe. I said, ooh, ooh. Oh, bugger. Right, that's not a good thing. Right, so we're going to have to quickly dash through that level again. So this is why the estimate's at 130. Because little issues like, little errors like that can be quite devastating. So it's unfortunate, but thankfully it's the only level that we're really going to struggle with, if anything. It's just because the TNT boxes can be a little bit awkward. So we're actually going to clear that section first before we do anything else. So my current PB on this is a 122.46, but that's got a couple mistakes in. Nothing too devastating though. But like I said, so it's all about health management in this, so you've got to manage your HP, otherwise you'll be doing the whole level again. We can actually extend our HP by collecting sort of, I guess call them life bottles. Life bottles just give you an extra capacity for your HP. It's just like any other game really. So max HP, there you go. But yeah, we're going to be picking up one of those after this level, before we do the next one. Basically 6 HP just allows us to have that bit of security when it comes to some of the later levels. So that was a good example to show off there, just of how devastating it can be if you mess up basically. We're going to do a butt bounce there because like I said, I've got HP now that can burn. And this time we are just going to wait a second for this. So normally this section's fine, but the problem is it's weird because when Croc gets pushed, he'll still be on the ledge and he'll be perfectly fine, but then if you try to do it again, he'll just get pushed off completely. So that's what happened last time. So I should also point out, I wasn't expecting to run this game today, and that is how this marathon is going to be. It's sort of keeping you unprepared, just whacking you right into the game, and that's how fun it is, because that's the best way you want to see runs, right? But anyway, we're going to carry on with this quickly. The next level is a little bit of a sleeper level as well. It allows me to sort of explain a few more things about the game as well. So we'll blast through this. Like I said, there is a heart over there if you did need it. But, can I get out, Croc? Thank you. But yeah, there's another level coming up, which allows me to explain a few other features. I'll call them features of the game. Because this game's quite interesting. It does a thing that not many other games out there do. So, you know, like the whole 2-player 1 controller thing? So basically, this game has that. This game is sort of like the origins of that, in a way. So this game has the ability to play with 2 people, but playing as 1 person. So 1 person can control the movement, and 1 person can control all the jumping. How fun is that? It sounds horrendous, doesn't it? Because, like, why on earth? Well, it's so weird because it doesn't work that well. But it does, sort of. Like, I don't know. Like, this game of all games, why would you want to do 2-player 1 controller on it? It's not playable like that, so... But hey, it's an interesting thing. They call it Omniplay, I think it's called, in the menu. So... why not? It exists on the PC as well, so... And it's funny because the PC can support 5 controllers for some reason. So, yeah, sure. Right, so with that, we've done the level finally. It's gonna fall off. And then just get out of here. Oh, there we go. Well, that just burned off 4 minutes. Lovely. Anyway, we're gonna move on to grabbing the extra life bottle, which is just gonna be around the corner. Don't talk to me, Gobbo. You've wasted enough time as it is. So this gobbo here wants us to do a few exercises. So we're basically going to jump to begin with, and then we're just going to do a spin, and then we're going to do a butt bounce, skip that text box, and then grab that bottle. And now we have maximum of 6 HP. We have to talk to this gobbo just briefly, just so we can get into the boots. Now, currently I don't have any HP, but that doesn't matter, because once you do certain levels, you'll get a full refill. For example, the Dantini Boat Race, which is a... well, it's a race. It's nothing exciting. It's just hold down X and go left and right. No power-ups. There's a few gems, of course, which I'll get onto in a moment. But yeah, that's about it, really. So, moving on to some of the other things on the game. So, of course, you've seen all these coloured gems all around the levels. These aren't required for the game. Basically, these just allow you to get access to the bonus area. But it works a little bit differently to how Croc 1 works. So with Croc 1, once you get all 5 of the coloured crystals, you can go through the door to go do the bonus area. And usually you get unlimited attempts for that, for as many lives as you've got, of course, or, you know, for as long as you are going to spend in that bonus level. With Croc 2, basically it spawns in like a little portal that you can jump into in the middle of the level, once you get that last coloured gem. And you've only got one chance to do it. Now, when you play this game casually, the problem is, some levels can take 30-40 minutes sometimes if you're playing this casually with no route in mind. And to go through all that level to get those coloured gems and then for you to mess up and fall into a pit on that bonus area, yeah, it kind of sucks that, because then you're like, oh god, I have to do it all over again. But if you do complete it, you get a lovely cheese trophy. But these cheese trophies are actually used to open up the secret levels, which give you jigsaw pieces, similar to Croc 1. And once you get all the jigsaw pieces, you get access to the, I'm going to put in quotations, secret world. Just pretend I'm holding my 2 fingers up, you know, saying secret world. Because it's not really a secret world on this game. It's really bad. Like, it's just playing through the same levels again, but just slightly harder. But this time, you go into each level and only briefly spend like a minute in each level just to pick up a coloured gem, which then gives you an egg at the end. And once you get all the eggs from the first 3 worlds, that's it. It just ends. Speaking of ending, the race is just finished. Thank you for watching the race. So, moving on, we're going to go to the Bird Thief level next. We're going to be doing a bit of a... we're going to basically exploit the HP on that as well to just skip waiting and going all the way back to the start of the level. Going to skip talking to him. Basically, all these gobbles are like magnets. Whenever you get near them, basically, they will always want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to them. They just waste your time and get in the way. Even though we're saving gobbles in this game, somewhat, it's kind of like we're doing jobs for the gobbles this time. So we got rope swings on this game. I don't think we had it. No, we didn't have them in Croc 1. I don't know why I thought we did. But the rope swings, you have to be a little bit careful with these. They've got momentum to them, so you have to make sure you jump at the right time. Otherwise, you're not going to get any movement forwards. So with this level here, normally you'd have to chase the thief all the way to the end. We're not going to do that. So before we do that, we're going to hit the gong. These gongs in this game are checkpoints. And then hopefully we're going to just take a little bit of damage here, just intentionally. Because we just need to drain our HP down a lot more now. So we're just going to keep skipping all these pits with the spikes. Jump up on that lovely hippo that bounces us up into the sky. Another spike pit. And then another one. Just we need to lower it as low as possible just so we don't waste too much time on this level at the end here. And now we're going to finish the level by doing some 1-frame jumps here. Nice. Gonna jump up here. Get ready to hit him. Nice. And then we can fall into the lava. And then we can fall in again once the iframes are done. And that's the level done. So instead of having to go all the way to the end of the level just to hit him, you can actually hit him in the middle if you're quick enough with the 1-frame jumps. He actually doesn't move until you get to a certain point where it actually triggers his movement. So now we're going to go into one of the first, I guess, the mini-bosses in this game, Savina the Squid. I say mini-bosses, but they act like full bosses, to be fair, because the actual bosses in this game are just as easy. And it's kind of a running theme, really, like the Croc 1 bosses are really trivial. It's simply just hit them 3 times and they're dead. It's the same procedure here pretty much, except there's a little bit more platforming involved. So I suppose it's a slightly bit difficult. So this lovely gobbo here is going to bring us some TNT boxes, and we're going to throw at the squid once I can grab it off him. Give me the box. Can I make that? Nice. If I miss that, then I would have to wait for the cycle to come back. So we just need to go to Savina, throw them right in her face, and then she just says, see ya. That's about it. So with the first 2 hits, pretty much it's just standard old, but when you get to the 3rd hit, the platforms get a little bit smoky and a bit steamy, and you're not able to go on some of them anymore, so you just have to take a different route. But like I said, it does introduce a bit more gameplay with some of these bosses, but they're still relatively easy. There is one later on which, if you play casually, you'll get frustrated with, because yeah, even as runners, we get frustrated with it sometimes, but I won't spoil it just yet until we get to it. So with box number 2 done, we're going to bounce all the way back. It's just quicker to jump if you can, instead of swimming around. There's a heart over there as well if you ever need it. So, as you can see, these like purpley barrels and boxes are now unusable. So if you stand on them, you just burn, and then Croc loses the box as well. If you fall into the water with the box as well, you also take damage, so you've got to make sure not to fall into the water. But yeah, so far so good. The run's going fine. Like I said, we just had that major mistake in the 2nd level, but that just happens. Of course, in the marathon, you just keep going, but in an actual attempt, you just reset at that point. And with that, Savina goes back home to wherever. I don't know. Savina lives in Savinaville. Sure. Anyway, now we're going to go do a little chore for a gobbo. This gobbo is kind of annoyed because his sandwich got stolen. And now he's asking us to divert away from our plot, our story of the game, just to go get his sandwich back from this bird that stole it. So we rescued a bird, and now we're going to have to get rid of the bird because it stole the sandwich. Where's the logic in that? So we're going to go over here. It's going to jump on the side here, so we don't actually need to set the railing. And then we're just going to go up the bridge onto the right side. So this level basically introduces some of the items. Oops. Basically, this level gives you an extra item, which is a gobbo with some spring boots. The gobbo we don't actually use, because the gobbo's used just to get some of the coloured gems. So he just sits in our backpack, and then we throw him away later. I also forgot this is not Croc 1, so we can't do a butt bounce onto the vines, unfortunately. It's kind of weird, like, some of the changes, they added and removed certain things, so it's like, when you're playing, like, both of the games, you have to kind of get used to it. So here, normally you would have to take the railings by crawling underneath and then just, like, going all the way here and jumping onto this elevator. But if you do a butt bounce, you can go onto the top section early. This top section is normally accessible as well. It's just that you'd have to go all the way to the top first and then fall down onto these sections to do that. There's no real reason to do this, to be fair, but it is accessible. So at this point, the gobbo is going to be like, please use me to go get this item, and I'm like, no. So we're going to leap over there. You have to time that jump a little bit carefully, otherwise you'll fall down and have to do the climb of shame again. So we're going to move up here again. We're going to do a little bit of a skip over here. So normally we'd have to take a few paths here just to get access to that top section, but instead if we just jump on this lovely pole and just do a butt bounce, there we go, we can skip that whole section. And now we're back inside. So now we're going to jump up to this ledge, and then we're going to do a somersault at the end of this, just to get a bit more distance. There we go. And if we get some frame inputs, then sure, frame perfect jumps are always great. Having HP at this point is great, because we'll need some HP for the next hub that's coming up soon. There's the damn bird. Goodbye, bird. Thank you, sandwich. Gong. So these gongs are a little bit different to the other ones that we saw earlier. These gongs actually just kick you out of the level. So, and there is Baron Dante, which I haven't actually got onto the story of this game yet. So it's kind of two stories, really. So to begin with, Croc is looking for his missing parents, who abandoned him from the first game, which we never knew about, of course, until the second game. But there's also trouble afoot, because Baron Dante has come back from the dead, just like any old villain would in any other video game, I suppose. Like, Bowser always keeps coming back, right? But yeah, Baron Dante is back. He's a bit more mechanized this time as well. But it's the same old, same old. Croc is just going to kick his butt. Basically, we have to go save the Professor Gobbo, who's helping us find our parents. So we need to go save him, and then we find our parents. But first, we have to deal with Cannon Boots Keith, who goes har har har, and then we go like, well, we just go kaboosh into these cannons. So yeah, 3 hits again into these cannons, and then he's done. Every time you do a hit, he gets a little bit faster. Some of the platforms disappear. It's slightly improved from the first game, but there's still a bit of, it's still a bit boring. The boss is like, this boss feels a lot easier than Savina, that's for sure. So we're just going to go over here, hit the last cannon, and there we go. So I'm going to briefly talk about version differences as well. So there are some slight version differences. For example, if we use the HP as an example, basically the PAL and NTSC version, you start with 3 out of 3 HP, which is not good, because 3 HP in this game is it's like hardcore mode pretty much. And there's a retro achievement for anyone who's familiar with retro achievements, who's also familiar with going into the right building, which I didn't do then. See, look how unprepared I am today. But yeah, there's a retro achievement to do the entire game without getting any upgrades for your HP. We just went into Swap Meet Pete, his shop basically. He's like the money bags of this game. He likes money, and he'll give us items in return if we spend, spend, spend. So now we're going to do a bit of a U-turn here. I'm going into this first level, Ice-Trapped Gobbos, where we have to go rescue some beloved Gobbos that are stuck in these like ice caves at the moment. But yeah, so with version differences, like I said, HP is the big one. NTSC and PAL have 3 out of 3 HP. And the reason why we play Japanese is because it's got 5 out of 5 HP. But that's not the only benefit. The other benefit is when you get a game over, on NTSC and PAL, you only restore up to 3 HP, no matter your capacity. But on this version, you get all your HP back, so which is very lovely indeed. So here we just need to go grab the Gobbos. We're going to just get 2 Gobbos, basically, first, before we use the Gobbos to progress. So we're going to grab that first one there first. We're not going to take the balloon, because the balloons, as much as they're amazing to ride on, they're a little bit slow. So now we're going to move over here. He's going to do the bridge for us, while we go get the second Gobbo. Because then we can push the ice block in one go, then without having to keep going back and forth. So this actually does save a little bit of time, for sure. So here, I'm actually going to take the balloon. I lied. We actually are going to ride a lovely balloon. Oh, he looks so happy, Croc, when he rides out. So we're going to bounce up here. And then we're going to go get the ice block now. So basically, this just saves up like 4 or 5 seconds. Just means that we'd have to run back and forth all the time. And we can do this all in one go. But yeah, so going back to like the HP and everything, the PC version's interesting because when you get 50 crystals, you actually get some of your HP back. When you get 100 crystals, you get all your HP back. Now, you get all your HP back on these versions too if you get 100 crystals, but not the one for 50. Which is a little bit, it does make it a little bit tricky when you don't have any health refills sometimes. But at this point, you've routed the game well enough to manage your HP well anyway, so it's just that you need to accommodate for those minor mistakes, so that's why we do the Japanese version, because we just need that extra HP for insurance. Because if you want to try and do this game damageless, by all means, but good luck. Because this game really doesn't do your inputs properly all the time. So here we're going to hit the gong just for safety, so we don't waste too much time. Wait a second. Nice. There we go. Now, normally I would intentionally die here just to skip it, but I'm actually going to save my HP as much as possible, just because we've got a lot of it, and I'd rather keep that for the upcoming levels, especially the 3rd level of this hub. So he's going to basically stop the bridge for us, and then we're nearly going to fall off as well, because that's part of the gameplay experience. And then we're going to push the ice block all the way over here. We've got one more Gobbo to save in this level before we can get this TNT from this ice block. The purpose of this ice block is just so we can leave the level. Because in this level, we actually have to destroy the wall that's blocking the exit to actually clear the objective on this level. It's weird, considering that's not a Gobbo, but I don't know. It's Poor Gobbler stuck in the rock here. Not anymore. So we're going to go over here and quickly use our new found Gobbler to use this switch here for the elevator. Like so. So we go up, and then we just jump off quickly. Sometimes it pulls you along as well, because I think it's quite similar to how Croc 1 works when you're on a moving platform. Croc is somewhat locked to that platform. So in this case, he's locked to that ice cube when he's standing on it. It's strange. Strange things. But that's Argonaut. Yeah, that's Argonaut Games for you. Argonaut Games, Argonaut Software. I've forgotten the name of the company's full name. I think it's Argonaut Software. So we're going to blast that little ice snow hill away, and we're done with this level. And now we're going to move on to Chase the Train, which is going to have one of the most exciting tracks of the game, where we have to run and chase this train before it derails with all the gobbos. But it doesn't, because it's all pre-scripted, so it'll never fall off the rails or anything. But it's still exciting. What we're going to do is we're going to let go of the controls right now, because in the past I've held down the analog stick when this is loading, and it changes my position when I enter the level. And that's not good, because it makes me leave the level instantly, and that means I have to go into the level again. Fun. But yeah, Argonaut Games Software. I think it's Argonaut Games, but Argonaut Games, basically, they did some interesting stuff in the day. For anyone who's familiar with Star Fox, aka Starwing, wait a minute, come on, aka Starwing, for the PAL region, they worked on the Super FX chip. In fact, they created it. So all those fangled graphics on the SNES and everything, they're actually the people who made it. Same people who made this game. Interesting. Unfortunately, Nintendo didn't want Croc on their systems or anything, so you know, they wanted Super Mario. They cared about Mario more. So Argonaut did their own stuff, made their own games. They've made a bunch of games. Definitely go check them out. But obviously, Croc is some of their standout titles. But also the hardware that they developed as well. It's just very fascinating. That's their origins, basically. So. But why would Nintendo not want Croc? I mean, they do these days now on the Nintendo Switch with the remaster. But back in the day, they were like, no, we've got better games than this. But it's the controls as well that's also the problem with Croc. And that's why it's a little bit unappealing sometimes to some people. Like, the controls with Croc, it's an acquired taste. You're either going to get used to the tanky controls or you're not, basically. So, in my case, obviously with the analog support on Croc 2, it's obviously a lot easier. But if I was to use my D-pad for a second, if I could shut off here, like, it's really uncontrollable. So that's why I just need to use analog, because it means I can turn instantly on the spot rather than having to rotate Croc around and then, you know, position him in the place that I want to move and then move. It's tank controls. I mean, what do you expect, I suppose? So we're just going to keep going outside to these outdoor sections where we can follow the train along. Got to be careful not to hit any of these borders, but if we stay on the inside of the wall, we'll be fine. Because like I said, HP is still important because we need it for the next level specifically. Ideally, the next level we want to come out with at least 1 out of 6 HP still. Just, again, as a backup, just in case that we take damage on one of the upcoming boss fights. But that boss fight will also fully restore us back to full, so it's also nice. We're into the last section of the level now. There's no more outdoor sections, we're just sliding along here. At this point, I've really got to be careful not to fall off, because if I fall off, then I have to go back to that checkpoint I hit about 2 minutes ago. And again, that's where the major time loss can come from. Because I tell you what, like, in one of my PBs, like, it was so good, and then it just wasn't good on the second to last level. So, because I fell off, and I lost 4.5 minutes. That's how it happened. That's what it is sometimes, you know. So now that the train stopped, the gobblers are saved, and then we're done. So yeah, we're what, 5 minutes behind PB at the moment, but we're still on for estimate, which is good. And that's obviously the most important thing. Oops. So now we're going to go into Roger Red Ant, which again has a great soundtrack to it. The level design, it's a little bit annoying because, again, it's a long level and you don't really want to take any accidental deaths here. This is Roger Redant in the top right corner. He's like, ha ha ha, I'm going to blow everything up with my TNT boxes. Because on this game, there's a lot of TNT boxes that everyone just uses. So, and now we have to carry this all the way to the end before it detonates. We just need to throw it towards a door. Make sure we don't fall off. These platforms here also fall down, so keep cautious if you come to this section. I mean, I hope people play this game, you know, because it's fun. It's fun as a speedrun for sure. So here we've got another time limit here. We've just got to run to these switches here to extend the timer. Basically there's like 5 or 6 of them in this section, and we've got to hit them in order to keep extending the timer. We're only going to use the 2 down on the ground floor, and we're not going to use any more basically, because we're going to do a little bit of skip here. Oops. Nice, there we go. So we can't use any of these switches because we've not done them in order. But that's not a problem because we just grab the gobbo. And again, once the gobbo has been collected, that flag's already been cleared. So now we can go get the next one. And again, it's pretty much rinse and repeat for this level. There's 6 routes that you have to do to go get gobbos. And then eventually Roger Redant gets blown up by the gobbo. By his own box. So that's always funny. But these routes do get a little bit more tricky later on. There's some jumps that you have to do, and jumping with a box is not the easiest thing, because you don't have that much distance when you jump around with the box. So you can also throw the box anywhere near the door as well, and it'll do the job. Grab the gobbo here. We're not going to intentionally die here because the exit's just here, and again, preserving that HP is just as important. And now we can go to the next section. We're going to hit the checkpoint on the left here. Now just jump up here to get an extra heart. Lovely. Again, hearts are extremely rare in this game. So even though you've got HP and everything, and you think, oh no, it's just going to be everywhere HP. On some levels, I think the max HP that you'll find, or max hearts you'll find around, are about 3. That's it. So when you enter a level, essentially that's your HP for the entire level, if you have to imagine it like that. The max you can get is 9 out of 9, but you have to go to Swap Meet Pete, or you have to do certain bonuses in each of the levels to get the extra HP bags. And even if you get 9 out of 9 HP, getting more bags doesn't extend it anymore, so 9 is the max HP you can have. Which is interesting, I suppose, because, you know, you don't want to be at a point where you have like 15 HP for this game, even though it absolutely makes sense to do so. So I'm also not going to do the same mistake here where I fell down in one of my previous submission videos and not get that gobbo. So, because that wasn't good last time I did that. So what happened is I did that whole route, everything was fine up to that point, and then I fell off. And then I had to do that whole section again because, yeah, I didn't grab the gobbo. I literally missed him by like half a jump. And that wasn't good, but it happens. So with this one here, we've got to watch out for the fireballs. So I'm just going to wait till it swings again, and move forward. Go, go, go. The fireballs hitboxes are a little bit big, so I just need to be a little bit careful there. There we go. If you don't get out of the room in time as well, the whole room blows up and then you lose some HP as a result. With this room here, we can take the sort of controllable platform that these are. They're in Croc 1, these, but in Croc 2, they're a little bit different. They sort of follow you around when you get off to sort of help you, you know, get onto the platform whenever you need it. In Croc 1, it's kind of when you jump off, that's it. So now we've got 2 more routes to do. I'm going to go to the left first. And then this time, we're not going to be carrying any boxes. This time, he's like, I've had enough, I'm just going to blow it up myself. So now we're racing against the fuse before it blows up the gobbo. And there's only 1 room in these routes, as opposed to those like double rooms that we saw earlier. So we just have to go get the gobbo and just get out. So these little tiny platforms can be a pain to do. They exist in Croc 1, and they're horrific because you can go underneath them. And if you go underneath one of those platforms, you just instantly lose a life, basically. Or in this game, you will instantly respawn. And yeah, that's frustrating for a Croc runner because again, with all the Croc games, you have to reset the entire room essentially if you die, or if you have to respawn. That's the only downside. Like, it's not like, oh no, you can quickly get back up or anything. I mean, if you're quick enough, you can, but the problem is it's devastating if you do have to respawn at any point. So this game is a little bit, it requires a little bit of precision for the most part, but it's still fun overall. Once you learn the route, then it's great. Oh, you see what I mean? Like, if you miss that jump there, then I'd have to go through the other two rooms just to get back to this section here. And with that, Roger Redant goes kaboom, and we actually got a gold split on that, because, as I mentioned before, my PB's got that mistake, so we actually saved some time there. So now we're going to go to Flavio Thermal Fish, which he's called Flavio, and he's a thermal fish, if a thermal fish is a real thing. So we need to go to this hot air balloon to jump in, doesn't matter where, and basically we need to drop 3 ice cubes onto Flavio. Well, in theory, we have to throw 6, but we need to hit him 3 times with the ice. So once to basically send him down, and then we have to do it again to freeze his water. So he actually takes damage from, I guess, ice burn or something like that. So once we do this as well, we get 100 crystals, which gives us a refill. So it doesn't matter about taking damage here. And at this point, I'd even say that we're doing probably excellent with HP right now. So, come on, Croc. There we go. So with this one, you just hold down X to like lower yourself down. You got to be careful not to touch the ground, because you also take damage crashing into the floor. And then we grab the last ice cube, and then we're done. And then we're moving on to 2, probably, like, from this point on, up until the boss coming up in a couple levels' time, we're basically coming up, oops, oh no, oh no. Oh no, live split, what are you doing? There we go. Ignore the frozen timer for a brief second then. Live split just decided to not split for some reason. That's fun. But yeah, so the next 2 levels are a bit more creative, these levels. So we're off to Snowball Madness, which, if you're familiar with Super Mario Galaxy, you know when Mario's rolling on those glass balls with the stars? Well, this is exactly the same, but it controls poorly. It's great fun though, like I love this level. There's a few skips that we can do as well. I'm hoping to skip a certain section later on, which I've just discovered because someone told me about a week ago. But we'll give it a try because we've got a checkpoint nearby as well, just in case. Ouch. So we hit this checkpoint over here. So here we'll go to the left. We're going to fall down here. This is just one of the other skips that we already do. And like I said, just got to make sure not to run out of HP at any point. HP is always important in this game. I need to get that. Cannot stress that enough to get that checkpoint. Ooh. So yeah, it's a little bit uncontrollable this, but once you play it a few times, you get used to it. But like when you play this casually, you'll fall off over and over and over and over. So, and again, it's analog control for the win pretty much. If you use anything else, then yeah. Oh, right. So we're on to 4 out of 6 HP, that's fine, we're pretty much at the end. We didn't do the skip at the end because I just thought to get out of this level quickly. And again, we're still doing good for time as well, so we're actually saving a bit of time there as well. Look how happy that snowman is without a nose, like, what sort of snowman is that? Just eyes and a mouth, like, where's the iconic carrot nose? So that was one unique level. Now we're on to probably the most peaceful and calming level. And this is a level where you can relax from all the stress of the run and just feel calm, because this music is just, it's ridiculously peaceful. It's very nice, it's very calming. And we're going to stay nice and calm for the time being until we go on to the next levels, which are going to panic us so much because they're stressful. But this just allows us to unwind, relax, grab the lovely gobblers that are dangling from the ropes and just chilling out, saying yo. And yeah, it's such a nice track, this. Like, it doesn't belong, it doesn't deserve to be in this game, basically, this track. But I suppose it's Croc, so I suppose we can allow it. But yeah, this is actually the credits theme as well. but it kind of cuts off for the credits as well, so we don't get to hear the full thing. So with the glider level, basically we're constantly descending. We can deliberately descend lower if we want to, but obviously we don't want to always do that, because we can't go back up once we do that. So we just descend ever so gently until we get all the gobbos. If you miss one gobbo, you're doing the whole level again. That might not be a bad thing if you love the look and the sound of this level. But for me, I'd like to only do this once, please. And hopefully not mess up again like I've done before. And we're going to go in for the landing here. Make sure not to crash into the floor. Gently, gently, gently. There we go. Lovely. Because I believe if you crash into the floor, you actually respawn. Because that's what happened before to me. And it wasn't good. Let's just say that it wasn't good. So now we're on to the second main boss of the game, Lava Lamp Larry. This one actually is a little bit tricky. So we need to push these ice blocks into Lava Lamp Larry's sort of fire pits. So we do the first one on the left here. Sometimes he'll pop up, and the way you can manipulate him is by, if you look into the direction of one of these pits, he will spawn in that pit basically. So if we look at this one, for example, so I'm just going to move out of the way just to avoid the fireballs, because if he hits the fireballs with the ice block, it'll shrink the ice block to a handheld one, and that means I'd have to throw 2 of them into a pit to freeze it. So we're going to wait till he jumps and move out of the way, just to make sure that the ice block has enough clearance. I'm going to stop here. He's taunting, that's fine. To be fair, he does the same things all the time, so you can kind of just remember what he does. But you just got to be a little bit careful though, if you want to get this done the quickest way. So he's only got one place to spawn now, so he'll always spawn on the left here, once we turn around. There we go. Might have to push this a bit more to the left in a second. So this is an example of what we have to do now. So that's 1 now, so now we have to do that again. It's a little bit slow this, but it's fine. So we need him to throw a fireball over here. Come on. Thank you. I have to wait till he pops up again, because I can't throw this while he's popping up. There we go. There we go, that wasn't too bad. A little bit slow, but it's good. And we get a health refill as well, so we're topped up for the next hub. So the next hub that we're coming up to is we're essentially going to the jungle. And the caveman village, as it's called. It's probably the big part of the run, basically, because a lot of things can go wrong in that area. And, damn, these gobbos like to throw snowballs at Croc, which is a little bit cruel, to be fair. But yeah, we're going to go see Swap Meet Pete, and he's going to warp us to the third hub. Stop talking to me, Gobbo. The Gobbos keep asking me for stuff to do, and it's like, no, I've just done this for you. Leave me alone. Let me go do my own adventure. So, but yeah, so with Caveman Village, this is probably the big part of the run, because this is where a lot of time save and time loss can come. Wheels in the mine is coming up first. So basically, we need to get 4 wheels from these different locations. So we're going to go to the mines first. And this is where you can lose potentially 2.5 minutes if you're not careful. So you have to really be careful with this level. So we end up starting the level with a minecart. This minecart is a little bit different. So this time we actually have to tilt to avoid falling off or going into some of the death areas. Otherwise, Croc goes flying off the minecart, and it's just spectacular to see it happen. But of course, it's devastating for us because we have to do the level again. So we're going to move on to the next area. Push the block with the tire in, or the wheel. And then we're just going to jump onto this side section here. And then we're going to jump down here and just get ready to throw this into the block. Into the, I don't know what to call it, cage, block, cube. And we're going to do it again to get the tire, or the wheel. There we go. So with this level, again, we've got to be really careful not to fall at any point, because we'd have to do the whole level again. So we're just going to make sure we don't get hit by some of these as well. Not a problem if we do, but I just don't want to get stunned by any of these barrels. Lovely. And again, with this section here, we've got another, like, minecart section, and we have to tilt to avoid things. If we just hold down to the right, we're fine. There we go. So here is the big part now. We don't want to fall at any point in this section. And we just want to hit the switch. Just take your time as well. There's no rush with some of these sections because you have to wait for the Dantini to crash into the wall anyway. The next room is a little bit easier if you do fall off. There is a bit of recovery, but it's not the recovery that I like to do. It requires you doing lots of one frame jumps, and it's not good to do that it's not good to do that 10 times in a row. Basically, let's just say that. So we're going to jump over that Dantini. Hopefully get onto this rope quickly. Nice. Again, we've got to be a little bit careful here because if you time everything wrong, you're going to fall off. There we go. And we're pretty much done with this level. That level was actually pretty good. Again, falling off at any point would be devastating. In this case, we can do it now because we've got both tyres. And then we can leave the level when I hit the trigger. So that's the mine done. And now we're going to go into Wheels in the Jungle. The wheels in the jungle go round and round. Round and round. Round and round. Sorry, I had to sing a little bit of a song then. So with this level, it's not as awkward as the mine. This is actually a lot easier. As long as you get one certain trick, which is clipping through one of the doors. So this door is normally locked until you open it later. But in this case, we can just go through it anyway. And we're going to be able to try and clip through the door up here. So this is currently locked, but you can get through it if you do a little clip here. So we have to sort of walk slightly to the left a little bit, jump back, and then hopefully go back to the middle, and then clip through the wall, clip through the door. There we go. Look at that. So that just skips the entire level pretty much. So now we've got essentially we've got the last tire on this level, and now we're going to go get tire number 3. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to do a somersault just to get a bit more distance. There we go. And then that's tire number 3, exclamation mark, well, tire number 3/4, whatever. And then we're done. That's it. That's how quick that level can be if you just get the clip instantly. And of course, following 2 levels, we're going to have a lovely sleeper level known as the Gold Rock race coming up. Which, if you loved the boat race earlier, well, this is exactly the same thing. But it's actual carts this time. And to be fair, this is actually a little bit more trickier than the boat race. Just because the movement is slightly different compared to the boat race. So, but yeah, other than that, the run's going really well so far. Again, it was just that one mistake at the start. It was just unfortunate, basically. So, but I can talk about the like the speedrun community as well as with Croc 2. So again, Croc 2 is divided with runners for PS1 and runners for PC. It's kind of like an even Stevens thing, really, right now. Like both systems have sort of an equal amount of runners. I think PS1 has an extra runner more than PC. But I tried the PC version, and the PC version, well, it doesn't have slowdowns like this. Let's just say that for starters. But it's nice. I like it. You know, without all the loads and everything, it's so smooth. It's clean. It has a wider field of what's it called? You know, like the sort of a render distance. That's it. I couldn't think of the word then. It has a much higher render distance, so you can see things right in the distance much further. There's like a full-on setting for that as well. Because on PS1 it kind of lacks that, and it's understandable why the PS1 doesn't render a lot more, because it wouldn't be able to manage it. As much as the PlayStation is such a powerful console for its time, it still struggled in a lot of areas. So, and like I said, it struggles here a little bit because there's a lot of things going on in this level. There's a lot of just a lot of things. Yeah, it's a bigger level overall as well, this, compared to the boat race. The boat race is just like a small circuit. This is a full-on racetrack this time. So, but yeah, the PC version, it's worth a try. The only downside that I have at the moment with not wanting to run the PC version is the one-frame perfect jumps. I can't do them on PC. And that's just because there's a bit of lag when you play the PS1 version, basically, with all your inputs. That's not an emulator lag, that's just the game lag, basically. So there's like an actual input lag in the game on console. But for me, I've obviously got so used to playing it on PlayStation 1 that it's near impossible for me to just easily switch over to PC unless I start doing runs on PC. But for me, there's no reason to do runs on PC now. I think I'm happy with PS1 because it's more nostalgic. It's what I remember the game as, even though I only grew up playing the Croc 2 demo disc. Because there was a dedicated demo disc for this game that only had that very first level. So it's, yeah, it's a funny one, really. So, we're nearly done with the race. It's going to cross a line. Again, you've always got to come first place in these races, otherwise you're doing it all over again. And that's 3.5 minutes you have to do again, basically. So, now we're moving on to the mini-boss of this world, which I would say is probably like more of a proper hub boss than a mini-boss, really. Venus Flytrap. So, Venus Flytrap, it's a boss. It's a boss that requires pretty much perfect timing to be able to do anything to it. Otherwise, you're going to have to go get another ball and then try again. But thankfully, we do have a way to time everything properly. So we're able to throw the balls in and then grab the gobbles, and then everyone's happy. So here we're going to just jump over to the middle. It's fine if we take a little bit of damage, but not too much. Whoops. Oh, there we go. So now we're going to jump onto the balloon here, just to skip down that section there. So we don't have to jump all the way to the end. There's just no point. These skeletons here, you can just instantly hit once, but they will come back. Taking a bit of damage there is not good, because I now have to be a little bit careful. Because like I said, the next level that's coming up requires me to have a lot of HP, basically. Should be fine here. Oh, that was close. Okay, so with this boss fight, we should be fine. I am going to just take it a little bit cautiously here. Otherwise, I'm going to have to pick up some HP for another level later. So this gobbler's like, save me, the Venus Flytrap's eaten me. Ah, some good balls today. Very good. So I'm timing it, and I'm listening for a certain audio cue. And then I can grab the gobber. Oh. I'll have to wait a second. So when you throw the ball in, basically, when it goes into the mouth, it'll spit out a gobble. With the exception of the third hit, which will actually just kill it straight away. Ah, that's unfortunate. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is a little bit bad. I have to think about what to do. There we go. Oh, come on. Rubbish. So, like I said, the timing can be a little bit dreadful on this. So, I don't mind taking hits now, because I'm just going to have to get all my HP back soon anyway. Oh, come on. Yeah, what are you doing? Right. Come on. Oh, go away, game. Oh, dear. This is the problem with this fight. Even with the right timing, like, the game is just so busted with this fight. Right, that should go in. There we go. Oh, dear. That was a messy fight. But hey, it's fine. That's what happens. So now we're moving on to Devil's Tower. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do an intentional death on this level. And just get all my HP back, because I don't want to do this level. It's not this level I'm worried about, it's the next one, basically. So we're going to have to intentionally lose like 30 seconds just to quickly get all our health back. Because like I said, health is extremely rare in this game. And for these next two levels, yeah, that's no exception there. So I'm sorry, Croc, but we have to fall off. But you'll come back nice and healthy. Also, make sure you don't press no on the continue screen, or it will just kick you straight to the main menu. Very, very important not to do that. But thankfully, I can make up the time loss with a new trick that I learnt recently. That if I get it, then I can save about a minute, I think. It's about 50, it's like 45 to 50 seconds. But it's worth getting. And they're basically up warps. Now, there are numerous up warps you can do in this game. Ow. There are numerous up-warps you can do in this game. This one's probably one of the easiest ones to do on PS1. Up-warps are far easier to do on PC. Why? I think it's a geometry thing. I think the geometry is a little bit different on PlayStation compared to PC. And that's why we have to position ourselves a little bit differently when it comes to some of these up-warps. But with this one, it's relatively easy, and there's a way that I've been doing that's a bit more consistent. Some of the other up-warps as well are a little bit scary to do, because they're basically where some of the pits are. So we're going to stand here. Hopefully you can get it maybe first try. Oh, nearly. I'm going to give it a few attempts, and if we can't get it straight away, then it's fine. But I want to kind of show it off. Come on. So we need to align ourselves, because you can see that Croc gets pushed quite a lot from the geometry. And that's not usually good. We're going to give it a few more attempts. But it is relatively new, this, for me. There we go. So that just skips that whole section. So we did save a little bit of time, but not too much. Obviously, we lost some time because we had to re-enter for the HP. And now we just chase this... I guess it's an elephant? Mammoth? I don't know what to really call it. I think it's a mammoth, really. Because of the caveman village, isn't it? So it's like old BC era. And they said AC/DC then. I was like, no, there's no such thing as the AC. Well, there is an AC/DC era, you know, for those music fans, but yeah, we'll call it the AC/DC era now. Why not? Oh dear. But yeah, Devil Tower, it's fine. We call it, you know, the pet level, basically, because we're chasing someone's pet. And now this one that's coming up is, it's quite a lengthy one. This one requires us to save 50 gobos. So not just one gobo this time. We have to save 50 of them. Because their village is basically on fire right now, and we need to take out all the fires, because we're like Fireman Sam. For anyone who doesn't know what Fireman Sam is, it's an old cartoon sort of animation thing from years ago. I think it was in Europe as well. I don't fully remember though. So, but yeah, we're essentially Fireman Sam on this level. So with this one here, we get up to 4 water charges, which we can use to take out all the big bonfires that are going on. We need to make sure we don't take any more damage now at this point as well. That was a silly hit that I took then. Because on this, we're going to be doing a lot of skips using our HP to skip lots of sections. And of course, we don't want to be losing too much, because that would not be good. So basically, yeah. So we've got 2 charges left of water. And then we just got to keep refilling all the time. We want to make sure not to waste any water as well. So this guy here I'm moving away from, because his flamethrower's got quite a large range. So we're going to jump up onto this slight ladder. We're going to turn around quickly, and they're going to get this gobbo up here. So this just requires you to remember where all the gobbos are, and also remember how you get them all, basically, like the route. But this is the recommended route right now. Oops. There we go. Come on. But yeah, so this, again, it's a routing level. It's a route. I don't know how to word it. It's... basically, don't forget the route, or you're stuffed, basically. There you go. That's a good way to describe it. But yeah, thankfully, the route's not too bad to remember. It's just all about making sure you have HP and water. So now we're going to hit the checkpoint here, and then we're going to skip this section by jumping down here. We'll be going back to the other section later. It's important that you throw fire. It's important that you throw water there, otherwise you're going to take a hit, because that water fire doesn't spawn in as quickly as you think. And it's a render distance thing. Whoa, what am I doing? I need the key. Thank you. So you don't have to get the key and the HP up here, but just for safety, it's best to do that. Again, having HP is just important in this level, so we can do some of the one-frame jumps later. But we're also going to be doing some iframe abuse later as well, just so we can get one of the gobbos quickly. Otherwise, we'd have to go all the way back to go grab some more water just to get one gobbo, and it's just not worth it. So it's worth taking 2 points of damage to grab one gobbo, and saving like 30 odd seconds, 40 seconds potentially. These ones on the like sort of the gratings are a bit annoying. You could probably do this on the Taz if you did like, you know, frame perfect jumps again. So we're going to go grab these two gobblers over here. Then we're going to jump up here. I have a feeling I'm missing something. I don't think I am. I don't know why, but I've not done this for a while, so... Oh, get up. There we go. We'll know in a moment, and that's fine if I have forgotten something, but I don't think I've forgotten a gobbler right now. I think we're fine. So that's why I've just stopped talking for a second, because I'm like just thinking in my head, have I forgotten something? But I don't think I have. I think we're fine. Oh, that's unfortunate. So unfortunately we have to go back now and go do this. Because we didn't do the frame perfect jumps. So it does mean that we have to backtrack a little bit. We'll come back for those gobblers in a moment. I just need to go get some more water. No, I think we're fine. So yeah, I have to go get this water here. So basically that would have skipped us going round, basically. So we could have gone from there over here. And then basically got these 4 gobblers with the 4 water that we have. Because like I said, you can take damage to go get them, but it's just not worth it. And then at this point, we would have got them, and then we would have intentionally died, which I'm going to do now. I'm just following the way that I would have normally done this, just so I remember what I'm doing. Every time you respawn as well, you get your water back as well. Yes, there is gobblers up here. I need to remember that. Again, when you come into a run unprepared, which is the whole point of this, then yeah. Because I was literally told like 30 minutes before we were going to start, right, we're accepting Croc. Are you ready to start? And I'm like, yeah. So, but I love it. I love that. I love the sort of spontaneous run. It's great fun. So now we're on to the hub boss, the Village Smasher. As we just briefly see Baron Dante. Jeez, how did I get his name wrong? Baron Dante scheming. So, ooh, trying to put bounce onto this box if I can. Come on. There we go. And that just skips this whole level. So we don't have to go all the way around into some caves and going onto the bridge, etc. Village Smasher. We have to go against this giant dinosaur that's breathing fire, because all dinosaurs in the Stone Age breathe fire, of course, right? It's like Godzilla. Like a mini one, like a mini purple one. So we're going to grab these buckets, and then we're going to get some water with this lovely bucket. And then we're going to throw it into his mouth when he's breathing fire, basically. There we go. And now we get the second one. So every time we do a throw, he'll get faster and faster with his fire breath. So if we can do this really quickly, we can time this quite well. Oh, jeez. There we go. So hopefully if we can grab this one and we're quick, we might be able to get this without doing extra, like, weight, basically. Nice. Look at that. That's perfect, actually. It was perfect apart from the entry. Basically, the entry was a little bit messy. Let's just say that. So now we're done with Caveman Village. That wasn't too bad, all things considered. Actually, no, I lie. That was quite horrendous, that Caveman. It was pretty bad because of the Venus Flytrap boss. Definitely need to look into what happened there later. But it's fine. It's always fun if things go wrong. So with that, Swap Meet Pete swaps us to the Inca Village, which is the final world of the game. Inca Village only has, well, it has multiple levels, but Inca Village itself only has 2 levels. So before we do anything, we're going to go into the shop again. And we're actually going to buy something from the shop. Who'd have thought it? We're actually going to buy something. So we're going to buy some orange jelly. Nice. And then we're going to get out. Thank you. So we need this orange jelly for a later level. So we're not going to use it yet. We're not going to eat it, of course, because if we eat it, we can't use it later. But we can't eat these jellies, unfortunately. They are used for trampolines. Basically, you might have seen around some of the levels these weird discs that are on the floor. And that's where we can place these jellies to basically get to extra heights. But there's a bit of an exploit you can use with these jellies because of a certain thing we did at the start of the game, which I'll explain later. First of all, we're going to go save 30 baby gobbos this time. It's not 50 big gobbos, 30 babies. And we have to make sure they don't cry as well, because it's always sad to see them cry. But they're adorable. Getting thrown around like that, it's a bit of a chaotic situation right now. You know, where are all the parents? Where is everyone? Why are there 30 gobbles being thrown around by these Dantinis? Why have you got a baby? So what we're going to do is we're going to throw that baby over there. He's going to cry for a second. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. That's fine. So I was just trying to kill them first, just so I could get that one afterwards instead of waiting around. But ideally, I didn't have to actually drop the gobble, then I could have just jumped into him. And we could have done a bit of a zip then as well. So you can do some zips with the gobbos, but it's not really a reliable strat. It's just worth trying, just to see if you get it, basically. So now we're going to go grab this one. And then we're going to grab the one in the cage down there in a second. Nice. Also going to just change my split there. There we go. I was wondering why it was saying I was 7 minutes behind PB, but that's not true. I'm only 5.5 minutes. It's fine though. So we're going to put this one in, and then we've got 2 more on the ground floor to deal with for now. And then we're going to go upstairs. So again, it's all about following a route here. It's also all about not falling out of bounds in this level as well. Because this game's a little bit awkward when it comes to Croc being near walls. He will sometimes just clip out of bounds. And if you do clip out of bounds on this level, because there's no pits on this level, it's kind of weird. So it somewhat resets the level. So all the baby gobbles go back to their positions. The counter goes to 0 out of 30. But the internal counter for the amount of gobbles you've rescued doesn't change. It actually stays at the same amount. So in theory, if you were able to keep doing out of bounds all the time, it might be possible to find a route to oops, come on. It might be possible to find a way to keep respawning the gobbles and then just getting the ones on the ground if they're quicker to get, potentially. So we're going to kill those 2 Dantinis while we grab this gobble up here. Interesting little fact here, the gobbles protect us from getting shot as well when we've got them in our hands. Because for some reason the Dantinis do not shoot at us when we've got a baby gobbo in our hands. Whether that's an intentional thing or if it's a limitation, I don't know, or something. But I'm guessing it was deliberate, potentially. Because it's like, how could an evil Dantini do that? Like, how could they? Right, so we're going to pick up this gobbo here. That one's actually quite hard to... that one's quite easy to miss, actually, because you can just forget it. Because it's just there. Like, it's strange why it's there, but it is just there. So these 4 gobbos here, jump off the swing. Got to be careful not to touch the swing while it's slowing down as well, otherwise you'll take some damage, which is not very nice. And we're pretty much getting to halfway done on this level already. So it's relatively quick, this level, once you know the route. Once you know the route, it's all good. But when I played this for the first time casually, this level took me over an hour and a half to not finish. And I'll say not finish because, as I just mentioned before with the whole out of bounds thing, I didn't know at the time that the counter, the internal counter for the gobbles would be still okay. Because when I went out of bounds after getting 28 out of 30 gobbles, because I was trying so hard to find the last 2 and I couldn't find them. I fell out of bounds because I clicked onto the corner of one of these doorways and I was like, oh, the frustration is unbelievable because I was like, what? And I was like, I was pretty devastated because I didn't want to continue the game at that point. I was that close to finishing the game, but something like that is just too devastating to continue. It's like, no, I'm not doing that level again because I assumed that one of the gobbles clipped out of bounds potentially or was thrown out of bounds potentially by me. I just couldn't find it. And yeah, that was not good. Oh, what? It was inside the thing. Yeah, if they start crying, that means they haven't been thrown into the area properly. But yeah, it was a little bit frustrating, that. There we go. But it's fine. It happens. That's the beautiful thing about old video games. There are glitches and fun little things that happen, which make the experience exciting. I'm trying to say that with a smile on my face. Exciting. But no, I love the glitches and things and everything in video games. It just makes it... It makes it a little bit different, you know, instead of just being like clockwork or something, so... Ow. You weren't meant to shoot me, Dantini. That's not very nice. Right, so we're nearly done with this level. We've got another gob over here. No, we don't. We've got this gob over here, though. This one will take downstairs, though, because there's another playpen down here. If I have forgotten a gobbo, then it will be one up there for some reason, but I don't think I have. I think we're good right now. So we get number 23. Grab one from the bottle. And then we'll try and grab this one that's been run around with the Dantini in his hands. 24. There we go. Come on, grab it. So it's 24. I think there's another one up here, so that would be 27. Oh, poor thing. So if you don't actually get the gobbos before they start crying, you actually lose crystals. Because you basically get X amount of crystals for each of the gobbos that you save on this level. But if they get thrown onto the floor and they start crying, you actually lose one of their bonus crystals. If that happens again, you get no crystals for saving them. So you better be very careful when trying to save them. Thank you. Oops. So you can just jump into the gobbo and it zips you around. It's a lot of fun. It's also the quickest way just to get them, to be honest, as well. Right, so with that, we only have 3 more to go. So we're pretty much done with the level. So we just go downstairs, grab the last 3, and then just get out of the level. So there's one over here. I'm going to grab this one first. Thank you. Wow. HP's not too much of a problem now. It's mainly just making sure that we have some HP, like 1 HP potentially. Just as insurance, really. Get out of my way. Dantini. Ooh, give me that, though. Give me that. Thank you. So, we've got 29 there, and we've got 1 more to collect, and then we're done. So, like I said, all things considered, the major time loss came from that very first level. Like, we lost 4 minutes from that second level, sorry. So, right now, if that mistake didn't happen, we'd only be 1.5 minutes behind PB. That's actually really good. But that is why the estimate was marked as 1 hour 30, because, again, a tiny mistake can just change everything, so. So I just had to take a sip of water then. Stay hydrated, everyone, as well, because it is a bit of a funny season, isn't it, for those in Europe? It's a bit of rain, a bit of sunshine. Gets a bit dry sometimes as well. But yeah, always stay hydrated. So now we're moving on to Up the Waterfall, which is essentially the last major level, I would say, of the game. And it's also where we show off one of the cooler tricks of the game. So at the start of the game, we could have picked up some binoculars in our inventory, but there's a reason why we didn't do that. It's so we could do stuff like this. So what's happening here is that Croc is trying to use his jelly repeatedly, but because there's no binoculars in his inventory, the only thing that he's got is the jelly. So essentially, if we do this, there we go. We essentially skip practically the entire level just by having an infinite jump, just like that. And then we just go outside again over here, climb the vine, and then pretty much we're on the last screen of the level now. So it's a cool little trick, but it's only possible to do it if you don't... Oh, nice, that's good. It's only possible if you don't pick up the binoculars at the start. The binoculars, they don't do much. Basically, if you do pick them up, think it's only PC only, but I might be wrong. But if you do pick them up, you can actually skip certain other cutscenes in the game. But it kind of doesn't really. It doesn't save time. It just depends on what kind of routing you're doing, I suppose. But it's a funny one. So ideally, I don't opt for it because it is slower for me. Because it's like I want that infinite jump. Otherwise, I've got to do some of these up warps. And on PC, they do grab the binoculars because they can do the up warps a lot easier, as I said before. So now we're on to the Baron Dante hub, which is basically a Baron Dante boss fight to begin with. This is not the final boss. This is just one of the final bosses. Even though he is the final boss, it's just an extra one. So here we want to shoot his belt, basically, where it's like glowing red. There we go. Now, hopefully, we'll be able to get another hit here. Otherwise, we'll have to wait again and see if we get it again. No, we'll have to wait. Although, next time I'm going to just wait as long as possible. Just to basically see if I can get it. Because in my PB, I think it was, or my submission video, I moved at the last second when I thought he wasn't going to do it. And he ended up doing it. He ended up giving me the extra hit. And I was like, oh god, I was gutted. So, it's fun. So again, we just need to make sure we get rid of these bombs. Just keep firing by holding down X. And we'll just keep aiming for his belt now. Nice. That should work. Please. Come on. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Yeah, so it was my PB that I messed it up on. So that saves us 50 seconds, because we get an extra hit. And now we're on to Dungeon of Defright, which is a lot of mini-games, basically. So we're going to be doing certain things in a certain order. So we're going to be bouncing on this one 7 times. 4, 5, 6, 7. Every time we jump on these, it just raises up those platforms. 1, 2, and a butt bounce. And then we get up here, jump across there, grab onto there, and then we grab the key. And now we do it all over again, but the other side. And if we're quick on this level, we can get a health refill, which is really nice. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, butt bounce. Because if I try and do 2 there, I'm not going to get, I'm not going to be able to jump up, basically. And then we save the gobbo, and then we go through the lovely door. So these minigames, they're relatively simple. What we're doing here is we're just butt bouncing to change the tiles. So the bomb box can follow us, which it's doing behind us. So the crystal counter at the bottom is essentially a timer, but it doesn't start counting down until you've hit a certain limit on the level. And basically that just determines your bonus crystals on this one. So of course if you're super quick on these, then you can easily get 100 crystals and get a nice health refill. However, the next puzzles that we're about to go on to will probably make us lose crystals, because they're some of the worst in this level. So the next one requires us to jump onto a moving box. When we get near the box, it basically moves around. And we've got to stand on top of it to stop it. But unfortunately, it's a little bit too evasive, basically. So let's just say that, evasive. So that's the second room done. So again, with this one, got to go to the box and just chase it. Once we stand on the box, we're fine, but the problem is it's a little bit annoying. Because compared to Croc 1, this is a lot harder to jump on. So oh, there we go. So as long as you get a foot on it, then it'll count. So there we go. So this next room here, we've got to get some explosive barrels from the sky. But it's totally RNG on where these barrels are going to spawn. So we need to make sure we're pretty quick when we can get them. Like this one there. Oh, there we go. Nice. Nice. Oh, good. Go, 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 go. Wow. That was good. Again, it's rare that you'll get some good RNG like that, but that's because it's hard to see where the shadows are for those barrels. I don't know if it's deliberate, but I think the PC version doesn't have shadows. I think you have to kind of just know where they might be. So we're going to get that first licorice also, I guess. That's what they look like, to be honest. And it's important that we get that first one round the side so we have enough time to get to the next one. Because these are now on a time limit. So the moment I hit the next one, the timer starts for the next one. And then we have to quickly rush to it before it despawns and then resets the whole room. So this last one here, well, it's the second to last one, this one. And then we have to quickly go over here. So this is nice. We're going to get a full health refill, which is good for the next level, to be fair. And this is actually saving a little bit of time, I believe, as well, which is good. You know what? I'm actually really pleased with this run. It's most likely it would have probably PB'd if it wasn't for that initial mistake at the start. But hey, that's crazy to think that it would have still PB'd even with the mistakes in the jungle levels. So now we're on to the second to last level, Gu-Manchu's Tower, which I immediately fell off because I just wanted to show that off. So what we need to do is we need to navigate all the way up to the top of the tower. Basically there's multiple rooms like this. We need to be careful not to touch the ooze down there. Otherwise we have to do that room again, basically. And it's kind of, you have to just wait, basically, on this level, because you can't actually access most of this until the ooze rises up to move the platforms up. So here I've got to wait, for example. We are going to take the checkpoints on this one, but not in the next room. We're going to take it into the one later on, just for safety. Because this is where you can lose a lot of time if you die at any point. And with these platforms that are moving around all the time, yeah, that can happen quite a lot. So, got to be a little bit careful. So for a marathon run, definitely take it safe. Get rid of these goos that keep spawning in. They will spawn in front of you, so just got to be a little bit careful with that. Because if you've got no HP left, they will tag you. And that's not good. You've also got to be kind of confident with this level as well. Like, with these moving platforms, you've got to kind of know that you can go across. Because if you delay it ever so slightly, you're actually not going to have enough time to finish the level. Because the ooze will have got to you before you get to the next section. So, yeah, you've got to believe in your movements on this one. That's for sure. But we've got the final boss coming up soon as well. So, but overall, like I said, not too bad of a run. A bit messy at times, but hey, it's been fun. Oops. So we're going to go hit the gong. Which I'm going to try and hit the gong if I can without taking more damage. Just for safety. Loses a few seconds, but hey, we get it. This next room here is actually really quick as well, so it's just got broken platforms in this one, pretty much. Yeah, overall, really enjoyed showcasing this game. It's just great. Like, I would highly recommend trying to run this game. I'd recommend both Croc 1 and Croc 2, honestly, to run as a speed game. Croc 1 has a unique trick to it, which is the hover trick. So basically, if you jump, do a tail swipe, and then jump again at the right time, you can hover. Depending on what frame you do that on, you'll get a longer hover. Sometimes you get a short hover. It's a timing thing. And it requires a little bit of practice to do that as well. So, definitely worth trying for sure. But I think, you know, going forwards, I think Croc 2 is probably going to be my main Croc speed game. I think it's great. As in, like, main Croc speed game from the Croc franchise, not my main game. Because I don't actually currently have any main games anymore. I used to primarily do Spyro, but I've kind of soft retired from that game. Just because I've achieved what I wanted, which was a sub 1 hour run, and I'm really happy with that, and it was one of my biggest speedrun accomplishments. So, I beat a sub 1, I beat sub 59 to go further than that, so... Alright, that level's now done. We just need to get past these last goos. That's Gu-Manchu in the middle there. It looks very goo-like. Looks very disgusting. Looks like snot. And then he goes, oh, splat. And now we're on to the final boss. Baron Dante again. Even though we already defeated him off the peak earlier. So, yeah. Baron Dante. This is probably one of the easiest final bosses in a lot of games I've played. So what we need to do here is we just need to protect the Professor Gobbo from basically the Dantinis that spawn in, while we avoid the fireballs by just jumping. That's it. It's so ridiculously easy. I'm thinking that this was not meant to be just the boss, like just this. So what we're doing is he's going to put all the coloured crystals that we didn't collect in the game into these slots. And then basically that's going to teleport Baron Dante back to wherever he came from. He's got to watch out for these fireballs that bounce around as well. That's about it. You can sort of manipulate the boss a little bit as well. So where the Dantini spawn will be based on where you look. So if you look over there, he's going to spawn over there. And Dante won't fire anything unless he's on the screen. So he's always going to constantly maneuver to get onto the screen if he can. And of course, once the crystal animation happens, then everything just despawns. So the only thing you really have to worry about is just this. Because like I said, you know, having not too much HP after all those mini mistakes that I did in the last level. Yeah. It's fine, but obviously you just want to have HP as insurance. But yeah, overall, enjoyed this run. A lot of fun. We're underestimate as well, which is good. Touch wood. Touch wood, I said. Touch wood! Touch wood! I said touch wood! There we go. Touch wood. There we go. Lovely. I just had to say it at the wrong time, didn't I? But hey, we're still doing fine. We're looking to finish in about, I think, 2 minutes probably. So, whoever's coming up next, which I have just been told what the next one is, of course. Because this is an ongoing thing, you know. We'll just find out what's coming up next at the heat of the moment, pretty much. So, and that's fun. You might see me again sometime this week. It depends on if any runs are needed, because I'm actually quite free all week. But I won't be doing Croc 2 again, that's for sure. But yeah, we've got crystal number 4 going into its slot. Oops. Come on, hurry up. Lovely. Right, it's got one more to go. Time is going to be when the last crystal goes into its slot. Yeah, all things considered, not too bad, not too bad. Just make sure I don't take any damage here. We're fine. Okay. Oh, touch and go this. Touch and go. Touch and go. But it's fine. He just needs to hurry up. Scary, this. Very scary. Oh, just... time's coming up. Time. Oh, look at that. 128. That'll do. And then he goes... Oh, I'll wrap this up quite quickly because I know that I'm going to run out of time soon. But yeah, with that, Baron Dante is defeated. We observe him going back into wherever, whatever this is. I don't know. This herpaduper portal thing. Off to Croc 3, maybe? Unfortunately not, because Croc 3 will not happen. So yeah. But with that said and done, that is Croc 2 any percent, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate all the GGs as well. Thank you. And yeah, really happy with that run. Even though we had that mistake at the start, this would have only been 40 seconds behind PB. Cannot complain. So with that, I'm going to hand it over. I'm going to hand it over back to Cruel, and they're going to get ready for the next run, which is Celeste by the Yen. Thank you very much, and goodbye.